Well, we've got news out of Fulton County tonight. ABC News obtaining video connected to the first plea deals in the Georgia 2020 election subversion case. Former Trump attorney Jenna Ellis telling prosecutors of a late 2020 conversation with top Trump aide Dan Scavino, where Scavino revealed the former president did not plan to leave the White House.
He said to me in a kind of excited tone, well, we don't care and we're not going to leave. And I said, what do you mean? And he said, well, the boss, meaning President Trump, and everyone understood the boss, that's what we all called him. He said the boss is not going to leave under any circumstances. We are just going to stay in power. And I said to him, well, it doesn't quite work that way, you realize. And he said, we don't care.
Now, Ellis pleaded guilty to lesser charges in exchange for her testimony, and Scavino did not respond to ABC News' request for comment. Let's talk about it now and more with CNN legal analyst Norm Eisen, a former White House ethics czar, and trial and compliance attorney Seth Berenzweig. Thank you for being here today.
Thanks for
Norm,
having me.
I'm glad you're here. Norm, let me begin with you, though. When you heard this from Jenna Ellis, did it surprise you? Does it transform her into a more important witness?
Well, Laura, as you know, when the Jenna Ellis plea broke, I wrote for the New York Times, this is going to be Fani Willis's star witness. And when we heard those words, the boss is not going to leave under any circumstances. We are just going to stay in power, but you lost. We don't care. That summarizes what the prosecution's case in Georgia and federally is all about. The illegitimate desire to hang on to the White House, even though you lost the election. Dynamite video from Jenna Ellis, and she's going to be the star witness against Trump now. It's clear.
Well, I wonder, because there's also Sidney Powell testimony as well that we've also obtained. ABC News hearing from her as well. Listen to this.
What was President Trump's reaction when, I guess, this cadre of advisors would say you lost?
It was like, well, they would say that and then they'd walk out and he'd go, see, this is what I deal with all the time.
Now, I will say, with respect to Ellis, Seth, Trump's lead counsel in Fulton County told ABC News that the statement that from the purported private conversation, he called it absolutely meaningless. Now, I wonder with the combination, you're chuckling, why?
Right. Well, he's probably saying anything that he can, but the reality is that this is really hitting pay dirt. One of the most difficult but core aspects of a prosecutor's job is to find an evidentiary door to open into the mindset of the criminal defendant. And this is really a door that can open because you're seeing instances where Mr. Trump is apparently showing that state of mind by demonstrating that he realizes full well that he didn't win, even though Mr. Scavino was saying they're not going anywhere. Now, there's going to be a little bit of an evidentiary challenge for Jenna Ellis because there's going to be a hearsay objection, but I think that can get overcome. In other words, she'll say, Dan Scavino told me that Donald Trump told him I ain't going anywhere. But they can get over that hurdle because they just have to put Scavino on the witness list. So this is not good for Mr. Trump, and this on top of what's going on in the New York trial just shows he's not having a very good week.
Speaking of that, by the way, in that New York trial, I mean, Don Jr. on the stand again. It wasn't deja vu. It wasn't like a repeat of your DVR. It really was a new statement and testimony happening. How do you think he performed today?
Well, it was like an infomercial for Trump properties, but it didn't go to the core issues in the case. He talked about how great the properties were, but this case is not about are they good or bad. It's about the valuation and the overvaluation, sometimes many times over. Indeed, some of the evidence that came in today was actually harmful. They put a brochure into evidence that said 40 Wall Street was 72 stories, but according to public records, it's 63 stories. So they actually made the state's case for them today. I thought it was a faceplant.
What do you think about, I mean, obviously Eric Trump's going to take the stand again, likely Donald Trump as well.
Right.
If Don Jr. face planted, what's going to happen to them?
Well, I think that a lot of the opportunity has already been lost, quite frankly, because going into the trial for the day one of the defense today, Don Jr. was really one of the most important witnesses for the defense. The Trump organization is really on life support right now, and they needed Don Jr. to really deliver today because, especially when his father and his sister went to the White House, he was in charge, but his defense of apparently, don't blame me, I just own and run the company, isn't really very effective. And the fact that he was just rambling on and saying that his father was an artist, it was really interesting, but it didn't really hit the bullseye. So I think that they're really going to be having a big problem as that case goes down the line.
Maybe you should have called him an artiste. Somehow that makes more sense to people. Exactly. Seth Berenzweig, I'm a quick learn. Norm Eisen, nice to have both of you on. Thank you so much.